Ken the Jaguar. Ken is a jaguar. He lives in the jungle. He loves climbing trees, branches, and shades of the forest. He also likes to go to the river and dive in the water because Ken, like all jaguars, like to go swimming. One day, Ken heard a strange noise. He raised his ears and listened closely. He raised his nose and sniffed the wind. He noticed an unfamiliar smell. Something is not right, he thought. Suddenly, two men came out behind a bush. They were hunters. The hunters shot him with a dart. He started to feel weak and he went to sleep. When Ken woke up, he realized that he was traveling in a hot, dark box. But then the box shook. Then it began to roll over and over. When it hit the ground, it broke into pieces. Fed from the box, Ken looked around. The sun was shining very bright. The ground was sand. There were no trees around, and Ken did not hear any water floating around. Ken was trying to figure out where he was when someone pulled on his tail. Ken jumped in fright and turned around to see what was behind him. Three animals were looking at him curiously. Ken did not know them, but the animals were Pepe the falcon, Paco the camel, and Juana the snake. "Who are you?" asked Ken. There were no response. The desert animals didn't understand the language of the jaguar. "My name is Ken. I'm a jaguar," said Ken. But the desert animal just looked at him. They did not understand what he was saying. "You know what a jaguar is, don't you?" "A big cat." The desert animals looked at each other. They wondered what the huge cat could be saying. Pepe the falcon flew away and came back almost immediately with a red prickle pear in his talons. With great skills, he peeled it off and offered some to Kim. Kim accepted the fruit cheerfully. He pulled the prickly pear in his mouth, but spat out it right away. "Sorry," said Kim, "but eating fruit is not my thing. I only eat fish. I'm a good hunter." And they all looked at each other. "If only you could understand me." Ken was trying to communicate with the desert animals when Pepe the falcon flew again. "Listen, the sun is going down. It's time to go home," said Pepe the falcon. The three animals set off. Ken watched as the animals walked away. "Well, I guess this is as far as we go," said Ken, somewhat disappointed. But Pepe flew back and gave Kim a slight pull on his tail. "Maybe they want me to follow them," the jaguar said to himself. So he started walking behind the companions. The desert animals guided Ken to a great cave where they slept every night. On the ground there were red prickles, pears, and remains root that they had collected during their walks through the desert. Pepe, Paco, and Juana curled up in their places, falling asleep almost immediately. It took Ken a little longer to fall asleep. Then Ken crushed a red prickled pear with his paw. The juice of the fruit stained his paws. "I wish there was a river where I could take a bath," Ken thought. He missed his home. To get the stain off his paw, he ran his paw along the wall of the cave, leaving a trail of red and purple color on it. "This is fun," he said to himself. He continued drawing on the wall with his paw. Ken drew all night long. He did trees, the river, and the fish he likes to eat. He drew himself swimming happily. He continued drawing until he fell asleep. The next morning, when the three animals woke up, they saw what Kim had drawn the cave wall. They saw the trees, the river, and the fish. "I think he misses his home," said Juanita the snake. "Well, we have to help him get back." The three animals walked until they came across some trail tracks. Ken walked behind them, hot from the desert sun. They followed the train tracks for a good while until they arrived on an old train station. "The train comes by here," explained Pepe the falcon. "If you can get on board the train, you'll be able to get back home." Ken looked at Pepe worried. He could not understand anything that his friends were saying. "You're home. If you get on the train, you'll be able to go home," said Pepe, stressing every word slowly. "I don't understand what you're saying to me," said Kim. He looked at the other animals trying to understand what they were saying to him, but he did not have a clue. The desert and the jungle are very different places, and the language that the animals speak in each place are different. "He doesn't understand us," Paco the camel said. "Then we'll have to show him," said Juanita the snake. Pepe gestured to Ken to follow him. They walked on the back of the train station where there was a large hole on the wall. They went inside the wall, and they ended up on the ceiling. When they got to the roof of the station, they could hear the whistle of the train approaching. Pepe pointed to the edge of the roof and gestured Kim to jump. Kim understood right away. The train pulled into the station and stopped. Ken got near the edge and got ready to jump. "Good luck, kitty," said Pepe in the language of the desert. "Thanks, my friend," said Ken in the language of the jungle. He jumped with all of his might. Paco and Juanita clapped when they saw Ken landing on the roof of the train. Ken was happy. He said goodbye to his friends. He was ready to go home. Ken traveled for several days on the train. He saw a landscape change before his eyes. The desert became forest. The forest became mountains. The mountains became forest again. The train passed through several noisy cities that were full of cars until Ken noticed a familiar smell. It was the smell of the jungle. The trees and the rain. Ken was happy. The train stopped at a station. Ken jumped straight off the train and ran until he lost himself in the green splendor of the jungle. "Hi, Ken. Where have you been?" asked Itzae the quetzal. Ken is back! Ken is back!" cried Nekti the mako. Suddenly, Ken found himself surrounded by jungle animals. The animals went up to Ken to welcome him back. They were all looking at him, waiting for him to answer. They wanted to know where their friend had been. "So Ken, where were you?" insisted Itzae. "I was Ken's team." "Well, it was a very hot place," Ken explained. "It's hot here too," said Yaa the spider. "You're right, but many animals live in that place," Ken added. "Many animals live in the jungle too," said Nectre. "Well, you with another animal jungles?" asked Ixae. "No, it wasn't a jungle." All of the jungle's animals looked at Ken, who sat thinking in silence. Suddenly, he smiled. "Now you'll see," said Ken. He drew the cave and Pepe, Paco, and Juanita. The jungle animals looked at Ken's drawing in amazement. Ken smiled, happy to be back with his family.